Daily Wire has this: pro-life Americans unjustly imprisoned by President Joe Biden's Justice Department are formally appealing to Donald Trump for pardons. The Daily Wire is reporting the petitions for pardons of the 21 pro-life advocates sent Wednesday to Trump by the Thomas More Society, pro-life firm that represents the defendants. Thomas More Society wrote, these peaceful pro-life Americans mistreated by Biden include grandparents, pastors, a Holocaust survivor, a Catholic priest. All are selfless, sincere patriots. Their respective plights and personal information are provided in attachments to the letter. And so they're calling on the pardon. And this should be a day one priority for Trump. In fact, you know, the inauguration is 4 days before the March for Life. So I'll be in town for both. I'll be in D.C. for both. We're going to be in for the inauguration, and we're going to stay through to attend the march. And this would be a great way to commemorate the March for Life. Imagine if Trump announced on the day of the march that he was giving pardons to all of the pro-lifers unjustly persecuted. You know, that would be spectacular. And, you know, whether that's the timing or not, this is the kind of thing, and I think he'll do it. I hope he'll do it, but this should just be immediate. Like, there's no reason to wait. And you've got, especially when you have these pro-lifers who are currently in federal prison, all thanks to the some of the most blatant political targeting and political persecution we've ever seen. You know, and when we think about Joe Biden targeting his political opponents and engaging in political persecution, I mean, the first example that comes to mind, of course, is Trump is trying to throw his own political opponent in jail. And then you think about the January 6ers. And those are certainly two examples of political persecution. But I think that what's happened, there's no point in like ranking it, but I think what's happened to these pro-lifers is the worst of all. I mean, all these cases are bad. I think that this is the worst. I think that this is the most egregious, the worst, the most evil of all is what he's done to these pro-lifers, because these are, we are literally talking about, in many cases, elderly women praying. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. I mean, that's why they're going to prison. And which is also why, after the pardons are given out, the next step is to repeal the FACE Act, which is the federal law. The FACE Act is the federal law, the Freedom of Access to Clinic Entrances Act, that was used as a pretense for going after and prosecuting these pro-lifers. And so that needs to be the next step. And that's something that Congress needs to take on, is that needs to be repealed. That can't exist anymore. It's a law that, you know, as we've mentioned before, allegedly it's supposed to also, even though it says access to clinics, it's also supposed to protect pregnancy resource centers, pro-life centers. They are also supposed to be protected in the exact same way. But that has not happened. It has not been used that way. Never has been, certainly wasn't by the Biden administration. So this is blatantly unconstitutional. You know, equality under the law, equal treatment under the law is one of the most basic constitutional principles, and it has been violated by the Biden administration egregiously.